division strategies, okay? So, as we're learning division, remember, it's a lot like all the multiplication we've been doing, okay? This isn't something we're going to learn overnight, but we have lots of different strategies that we can use, okay? So, when we see repeated subtraction, what do you think this problem would look like? If it's 24 taking away all these 4s, what do you think it looks like, Eli? I asked you just a second ago. Okay, so if I have 24 minus 4 minus 4 minus 4 minus 4 minus 4, we don't know this yet, but we can try. What do we think that this equation is asking? It's going to have a division symbol, but what do you think it's asking, Owen?
6 times 4.
6 times 4, but let's make that into a division problem. 24 divided by what?
6.
Avery?
Divided by 6.
So, if it were divided by 6, we'd be taking 6's away.
4.
So, Avery, what is it?
Divided by 4.
24 divided by 4 equals, and this is how we do our repeated subtraction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I have 24 divided by 4, we're trying to see how many times 4 goes into 24. Okay, and then after we count all these, we see that it is 6. It equals 6, yes. So this is exactly like what Owen said. 6 times 4 equals 24. Right? I'm seeing some scrunched faces. Where did I lose you guys? Or are we feeling okay about it? Yep, Trevor, that was a great scrunch face. Thank you for that. Okay, so what is another problem I could do for repeated subtraction? Remember, this has a division symbol. Cordelia?
Like almost a lot of problems. Like you could do like
Any, right?
like 36. How many 6 are there?
Yeah, so 36 divided by 6, and then how do I do that? 36 minus 6, minus 6, minus 6 until you get to 0. Okay? Trevor?
Is that all you do? I thought it was way harder.
It's going to get hard, buddy. Okay, let's look at the grouping model, okay? So, what is something else we use grouping model with? Multiplication, right? So, let's look at this. I'm going to go ahead and give an example. So, if I have 18 divided by, how many groups do I have here? 3, right? So this is my division problem, 18 divided by 3. So how am I going to solve this with my groups? Kaden?
Put 3 6s.
Yes, we can either count to 18. So we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then we see if we have 6 dots in each one, right? Because it's equal groups. It's equal groups. So this is what? What's a multiplication problem that could be this? Addie? 3 times 6 equals 18. Because remember, we have 3 groups of 6. That's exactly right, Addie. Good job. So based off of this grouping strategy, do we have any questions on that? Or do we feel okay about this? Because we do this with multiplication a lot. Ella?
How did it get 18?
Oh, I was just using an example. So I could have done 9 divided by 3, and then I have 3 in each dots. But yeah, the 18 is just an example, okay? And I did 3 because I have 3 groups right here. But if I had 4 circles, I could do 16 divided by 4. You'll always have a division problem given, but this was just an example to help you out. Okay, so let's look at the array. Based off of strategy 1 and 2, looking at strategy 3, turn and talk to your neighbor about what you think this equation could possibly be. And then I want to hear some answers after you guys have talked about it.
5 times 6 equals 30. Then there's 5 in each. 6 is 5 in each one. There's 6 times 5. I did. But
Okay, so this one is a little harder. So I'm going to go ahead and do it up here. Trevor, what did you and Alex think?
30 divided by 5.
Trevor, you're so smart. Let's go ahead and, so if you guys didn't see, they're kind of faint, so that's why I'm outlining it. We have 5 of these rows, right? So on this side I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on this side I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? But my total, what is 5 times 6, guys? If we were using this array for a multiplication problem, what would our answer be, Levi? 30, right? So we are looking for 30 divided by 5 rows equals 6. How are we feeling about that? Does that make sense? Good job on that, Trevor. We will have a lot more practice with this. We're just introducing it for now. Let's look at our last strategy, okay?
Can I interject one thing?
Yes.
On the multiplication test, you know that you had to put 5 times 6 because it's 5 rows of 6. On the division test, you can intermingle that 5 and 6. So it would be approved or accepted correctly to have 30 divided by 6 equals 5 or 30 divided by 5 equals 6. Either one of those is acceptable when we're talking about division because it's hard to come up with your model if you can't mix those numbers up based on the different problems that you have.
So if any of you guys got 30 divided by 6, that's correct too. Okay? As long as you know that total number divided by something else equals that. Okay? So strategy number 4, our number line. Okay? So it looks like our total is 15. It looks like that's our starting point, right? And this is kind of like a model for repeated subtraction because we're subtracting over and over, right? What are we subtracting by each time, Cordelia?
5.
So, minus 5, minus 5, minus 5, okay? We're doing that 3 times, okay? So what is our division equation? What is it, Kaden?
15 divided by 3 equals 5.
Exactly, great job. So, we started off at 15. We subtracted 5 3 times. So, 15 divided by 3, because we did this 3 times, equals 5. Okay? That also goes for 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Okay? These are all strategies that you can use for division. Okay? You need to know how to use each one, and we'll practice each one. But for each of you, there's one that you're going to like more than the other. Just like some people like using the box method for multiplication, and some people like using distributive, like me and Owen. We like that distributive property. Okay? So now we have all this blank space at the bottom, so let's get this. And we are not using scissors until I say so, and that's final. But while I'm cutting it out, you can go ahead and grab your glue stick. Okay? But I want you to pay attention. That's okay. Okay, so this outside circle, I'm just going to cut it along the circle, okay? Nothing fancy schmancy here.
Yeah, you said we can't get it.
You can go ahead and start cutting it. But you're stopping right here, okay? We're stopping as soon as you cut out the circle, we're stopping. So once you get to the end of the circle, we're just gonna stop, okay? We're not gonna do anything else. We're just gonna stop. And I'm gonna be a model citizen, just like Harper Price, and I'm gonna throw my trash away. Okay.
Oh wow.
When you have it cut out, I want you sitting down and looking at the screen so we can go ahead and get this done before we move on to the next thing. Okay, so how about even if you're cutting right now? Oh, thank you, Trevor. Even if you're cutting right now, let's go ahead and look up at the screen, okay? I'm going to do some fancy origami. Has anyone heard that word?
Yeah.
So, look here. I'm waiting on everyone's eyes up at the screen because you do not know how to fold it until I show you. Trevor, could you look up at the screen? Awesome. Thank you guys. So, I'm going to flip this, and I'm going to fold this repeated subtraction up. Okay? So look, now it's like a flap. I'm not gluing anything yet or anything. Now I'm going to get, after I folded this up, so this is what it should look like right now. After I folded this up, I'm going to go ahead and get this definition, which has the words on the back, and I'm going to fold this to the middle too. And then, so this is what it should look like right now. Not right now, I know some of you are still cutting, but if you're with me, if you're following along with me, then this is what it should look like.
Should it kind of be over?
Yep, they're overlapping, exactly, Trevor. So once I flip these back out, and I have this in the middle, I'm going to flip over my vocabulary tab. Okay? And this is what it should look like at the end. But raise your hand if you forgot a step, and I'll come help you. After you do this, though, I'll come around and help you. But after you do this, I have a glue stick. But for you crazy hooligans who love the glue, we are only doing 3 dots. Okay? So look what I just did with my glue stick. If you have liquid glue, this is how you should do it. Okay, and raise your hand if you forgot a step, and I'll come help you, or if you were a little behind, because this one's a little harder than our other foldables.